Hey guys, my name's Doug with Infotainment.com. Today we're in the 2013 through 2014 Ford F-150 truck. This is the MyFord Touch SYNC 2 system here. This looks very familiar to a lot of you. Those of you who have this display, this system, we're going to show you today how easy it is to upgrade to the new SYNC 3 system that has embedded Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. The installation is very easy, which I'll demonstrate. We do offer these in an internal navigation unit and a non-navigation unit for a little bit less money. This particular upgrade has embedded navigation, which we'll demonstrate as well. But without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. All right, the first thing we're going to want to do is remove or drop down our glove box here. Pushing the tabs here on the left, it'll drop right down. What we're after is 3 screws right now that hold this cover on. And then what we'll do is we'll remove those 3 8mm screws, and then we'll fold this back to access 1 screw that holds this right side of the dash bezel on. Once we do that, we can now access this screw right here, which will allow us to pop this panel off. Using a 7mm, to go ahead and remove this screw. Now what we can do is we can pop this out just to get enough access. We don't need to completely remove it, just to get enough access to get this 7mm screw up here. Then we're going to pop this panel off here. These pop out too, which give you a little bit more leverage. You can also use a dash pry tool, which is helpful as well. But again, we just need to pull it back just enough to get that 1 7mm screw. Now that we got those 2 screws, we can pop this panel off here. Just pops right out. And that gives us access to 2 last 7mm screws. Now typically, what I'll use here is just a little ratchet. Once we get those out, we can pop this out. Just held in with retaining clips. There'll be a connector at the top. There's a little tab here on the side. If you push that in and then pull it out, it'll come right out. We don't actually have to remove the bottom part. Now what we're after is these 2 7mm screws here, and the 2 right here. All right, now that the 4 screws have been removed, we can remove this assembly. We're going to press the black tab in and slide the gray lever over to remove that connector. Then we're going to disconnect the mini USB connector here. Now what we need to do is remove the brackets on the side of the screen. These are T20 screws, and then we can install them in the exact same location on the SYNC 3 system that we send you. So we'll do that now. All right, we removed the brackets from the MyFord Touch SYNC 2 system and installed them here in the same location on the SYNC 3. So we can set this part aside now. Now what we need to do is remove this little part up here on top of the dash. And there's 2 7mm screws that hold it in place. Now that those are removed, slide it towards the windshield and up. And we're just temporarily removing this so we can install our GPS antenna. Now there's a lot of different spots you can install the antenna back here. So typically what we recommend is installing it on top of a metal piece, not below a metal piece, but on top. This antenna has a magnetic base, so there's a nice little spot right here. Some people like to get some double-sided tape and put it on one of the AC ducts. As long as you're under the windshield, just below the dash top, you should be good. And then we're going to route the cable to behind here. Now we can install the Sync 3 system. We'll plug in all the factory connectors, including our new GPS antenna, which we'll install on this vac report here. Then you'll notice it slides right into place, and we'll reinstall our 4 screws. Now we're going to reassemble the dash the same way we took it apart. Alright, the final step in the installation process is we need to remove this hub and replace it with a hub that's compatible with Apple CarPlay. So what we're going to do is we're going to want to get underneath this little plastic piece. And this pops off. And that allows you to get underneath these tabs and around the perimeter to slowly work it out. Once you remove it, you're going to disconnect the 2 cables that are connected to the bottom. You can set the hub aside. Now, since the CarPlay hub's a little bit thinner than the original factory hub, we'll include a filler plate. This will allow you to slide the CarPlay hub into place. We're going to use this hub harness connected in here. We're going to plug the factory plug into here. This is going to help us retain power and ground. And then we're going to plug the mini USB into that port. Once everything's plugged in and connected, just pop it into place. Alright, now that we have everything buttoned up and back in its place, let's go ahead and turn it on and check it out. So right away you see a nice clean display here. It's not in the different segments. Just really clean. All pre-programmed, guys. So whenever you order this from us, you need to supply us with your 17-digit VIN. We will program this 100% for plug and play. So you'll retain your backup camera, your audio controls.
DJ Big 40 Countdown.
Everything will continue to work just as it was with your Sync 2 MyFord Touch. So here in the home screen, you can alter this however you want within the settings menu. But as it is here, we have our map here. This is the navigation version. We do offer the non-navigation, the built-in navigation, the non one, for a bit cheaper on our website, so you can check that out. You retain heated and cooled seats, just like before. Within the audio section here, you now have the sources, AM, FM. If your vehicle is equipped with Sirius XM, it'll show that icon here. Obviously your CD player and your Bluetooth streaming audio. Those of you who have HD radio currently, you will retain that feature as well. If you want to add satellite radio or HD radio, we do offer a kit, 100% factory as well, on our website. Climate, as before, you can adjust it however you want. The phone section here, you will have to repair your phone since this is the brand new Sync system. Navigation feature is amazing. It's got the pinch to zoom, which is really cool. It has all the traditional features a nav system comes with nowadays. Your destinations, points of interest. You can store your home, your work, everything in there, which is really neat. 2D, 3D maps. Bird's eye view. Within your app section, there's a lot of apps you can get through Ford, including now Waze, which is a really cool navigation app. Settings menu, you can come in here and change your sound, balance, fade, in the general, your language. Those of you who are in Canada want to change it to Celsius, so on and so forth, you could do that there. Pair your phone, CarPlay settings, you name it, vehicle. You could all do that through the settings menu. So just a really cool system here. But one of the reasons why we sell so many of these is because people want the Apple CarPlay and Android Auto feature. Now, as I mentioned, you're going to have to, plug in your factory or your lightning cable. And once you do that, simply plug it into your iPhone. And now you have full Apple CarPlay. This does also support Android Auto. We have more videos on our YouTube page that show you a little bit more about that. But I'm just going to do a quick little demo of CarPlay. You have your phone feature.
Tell me if you'd like to make a call or check your voicemail.
Cancel.
Okay.
Obviously, you can go to your favorites, recent, so on and so forth. Apple Music, if you have a subscription, you can get to it through here. Maps, obviously, is a great feature here. Those of you who select to get the non-nav version of this system, you still will get the Maps feature through Apple CarPlay, which is kind of neat. Messages, it'll read your messages.
Would you like me to read your messages or compose a new one?
Cancel.
Okay. Let me know if there's anything else you need.
So that's pretty neat. Now playing just refers to if you're playing your Spotify, Pandora, this will always bring you back to your last mode. Ford Sync, this just brings you back to the home screen here. Podcast, those of you who travel far, you can listen to your podcasts in the vehicle. Same as audiobooks, those of you who get that. This is, my phone has Spotify, so I do get all those features here through Apple CarPlay. Incoming text message came in. I could press it and it will read it to me. Here's you can put your recently played, you could browse your library for those of you who have playlists through Spotify, the radio feature. So it's a really cool little thing there. You could also put, as I mentioned, Pandora, several others through Apple CarPlay. Just a real cool upgrade, guys. We do so much more here at Infotainment. We do it for the late model trucks as well. If you have a small screen and you want to go to the nice big 8-inch screen, we do that. Backup cameras, factory Bluetooth kits, as I mentioned earlier, satellite radio, HD radio, just anything surrounding your infotainment system. Come check us out, infotainment.com. Thanks for watching, guys.